So for the NetLogo, today we're going to do something a little bit different. Instead of programming down here in the NetLogo code, we're going to set up some sliders and a monitor and use NetLogo to do some calculations for us. So what I'm going to do is just talk about one of the projects we're going to do. So the first project we're going to work on is one that determines the unknown angle of of the interior angles of a triangle. And let me go ahead and draw what I'm talking about. So if you have a triangle, let's say like this, and you know this angle right here, we're going to say that's 40 degrees. We'll make up a number here, and then this angle right here is 40 degrees. What is this angle right here? This is our unknown angle. Well, since the total sum of the interior angles of a triangle have to equal 180 degrees, so again, all these need to equal 180. So if we start off with 180 minus one of the ones we know, 40, minus this one, 40, and we do our math, what's left is going to be our known angle. So if we have 140 minus 40, sorry, 180 minus 40, that's 140, and then 140 minus 40 more, that would equal 100. So we're going to, so our unknown angle right here would be 100 degrees. So we're going to make NetLogo do that for us. So again, this is going to be a little bit different than what you've done in the past. Just so we have some room, I'm going to make this smaller here. So I'm just kind of making this smaller off to the side because we're not going to really use that. But what we do need is, I'm going to right click up here, and then instead of button, I'm going to pick this where it says create slider. And then up here where it says global variable, I'm going to call this angle -1, and I'm going to go ahead and make this 178. So this goes from 0 to 178 in increments of 1, but it kind of makes sense to just do 1. So change this to 1, go up to 178 here, and increments of 1, I'll click on OK. So I'm going to do the same thing again underneath there. I'm going to do create slider. I'm going to call this angle -2. The minimum value for that is 1. I'll say the maximum is 178. And this default value is just kind of just where the little slider starts off. And I'm just going to select that and just move it over with my mouse so it's the same. And then here I'm going to create a monitor. So a monitor lets us see something. So what I'm going to do is what the math function I showed you there, 180 space minus, I'm going to say angle -1 space the minus sign angle -2. And I'm going to type in here for this display name, I'm going to say unknown angle. And click on OK. And it displays, I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. So you can see right there, just like I did, I'm going to go ahead and change this to 4. Whoops. I'm going to go ahead and lock this back so we can use our sliders. So when I slide this, I'm going to go to 40, and you can see as I do that, so we'll go to 40 there. The other angle that we said was 40, and our unknown angle would be, 100. So right there you can kind of see that as we move these sliders here, this gives us an angle. Now we can break this because we can have more than the sliders we can go, we wouldn't have such thing as a negative 138 negative 38. So we wouldn't have that. But that's one of the things that some of you have problems on this week and next week, is they'll give you two angles, the interior angles of a triangle, and you have to figure out the unknown. So now you have your own little calculating machine to do that. And then the other one is an area of a triangle. And we're going to do the same thing for that. I'll kind of show you what that's all about. So for the area of a triangle, the formula for it is just the base. So I'm going to say area equals base times, I'm going to do a little asterisk for the times, height, and all of that gets multiplied by 1/2. If you think about the formula, the base is how far it is across here, the height is how high it is, and then those two numbers, you multiply those two numbers, and whatever your answer is, you multiply that by 1/2. And logically, if you think about the reason for this, is if you have a rectangle, how you figure out the area is just the base times the height, and that gives you the area of the rectangle. But a triangle is basically half of a rectangle. If we kind of look at that as little dotted lines going across, so that's why you multiply it by 1/2, the triangle. Hopefully that'll make sense, but this is the formula we're going to use. So we're going to end up having b times h times 1/2. That's what this ends up equaling. And I'm going to go back to our NetLogo. And I'm going to have unlocked my padlock here. I'm going to do another slider. So I'm going to go down here where it says create slider. And this goes to 100. We can leave that in here. And I'll just say base. And then I'm going to do another one here, another slider. And I'm going to do height. And leave that as 100. Kind of scoot that over. And then I'm going to do a monitor here. So I select monitor. And in here, I'm going to do our formula, which is going to be base space times height t, and then times, and I'm going to say 0.5. So that's what we did. We could also wrote it different. We could put this in parentheses just so it matches what I wrote out there. I'm going to do base times height space times 1, and I got to do a space here so it's doing the division. 1 space half. So again, there's a space on each side of this, and we'll just call this area. All right. And you can see that it already did the calculations for us. I'm going to go ahead and lock this so we can move our sliders around. So just so we can pick out some easy numbers to test this, if we had a triangle that was 10, had a base of 10, a height of 10, that would be 100, then divide that by 100 divided by 2, or times 1/2, would be 50. So here you've created a little machine for figuring out the unknown angle, and then here you have one for figuring out the area of a triangle. Alright, so that's all we're doing today for NetLogo. Again, pretty short and sweet, but I didn't want to complicate things very much since we're introducing these two new concepts in NetLogo of using a slider and using a monitor. So again, that's your assignment, to create this, and if you do it now, then when you're doing your Khan Academy assignments, you'll have this to use to help you solve the problems. Don't forget that I have office hours from 1:30 to 3. If you need additional help with any assignments, drop by then, and I should be there unless I have a meeting. If I have a meeting, I'll have a sign that says no tutoring today.